As I walked west along the beaten desert path, the noise from the water plant slowly faded behind me. Steel groans, worker chatter, flowing runoff, all swallowed little by open wind and distance. The trail curved through dry brush and cracked earth toward Bay's cattle farm farther out past the treatment fields. Old utility poles leaned sideways along the route like tired drunks refusing to fall over completely. Gizmo stayed ahead of me, tail raised, mechanical back legs clicking softly against stone and hardened dirt, while he wandered side to side hunting invisible things only cats seemed capable of noticing. The worm rested quietly across my shoulders now, dim blue lights pulsing slow against the black titanium plating. Calm mode, for once. I adjusted the medbag strap and kept walking. I needed to meet with Beth, cute lass, southern drawl, sharp eyes. She handled most of the cultivators out near Bay's operation, crop systems, cattle rotations, chicken coops, water distribution, nutrient balancing. Half the farm would probably collapse without her noticing it first. And somehow on top of all that, she still taught classes during her off hours. Kids mostly. Some adults. People trying to relearn things the old world used to hand out for free before everything turned into survival economics. Beautiful woman too. Not in the polished corporate way people in Vegas tried to manufacture. Real beautiful. Sun-warmed skin, work gloves, tired smiles. The kind of person that made harsh places feel less hostile just by existing in them. She reminded me of home sometimes, shared the same southern roots I did, same speech patterns, same little pauses between words, same ability to make exhaustion sound polite. Unfortunately, she was married, and that meant I also had to deal with her husband. Tech guy. Smart as hell from what I'd heard, but usually floating somewhere between sleep deprivation and alcohol poisoning depending on the day. Hopefully he wouldn't be drunk this time. Last thing I needed was another conversation about generator grids while a man smelled like homemade whiskey and engine coolant. Still, he treated her right. That mattered. Out here, decent men were becoming rarer than clean water, so I kept my opinions to myself and respected the bond they built together. The desert wind shifted overhead. I glanced upward just in time to catch the fading trails from a cargo transport cutting across the sky toward Vegas. Two long white lines stretched through the atmosphere behind it, slowly separating as the wind carried them apart. For some reason, it made me think about Wren immediately. Probably because she was headed toward the city while I was walking farther away from it. Or maybe because Vegas always felt heavier when she was inside it. I could still picture her moving through Old North Vegas earlier, purple-lined jacket, wolf earrings catching neon light. Focused eyes already planning 3 steps ahead of whatever problem waited for her. She moved through chaos like she understood its rhythm, the kind of woman who didn't panic when things went wrong, just adapted faster than everybody else. I took a slow breath through my nose. The cigarette taste still lingered faintly in my mouth. Somewhere behind me, another distant transit engine echoed across the desert. Ahead, the cattle fences finally came into view beyond the dunes. And out there beneath the lowering sun, something metallic reflected light near the farm structures, like somebody was already waiting for me. I tapped the side of my echo glasses and opened a live relay. The interface shimmered blue across the edge of my vision before locking on to Wren's signal. Connected. Her feed appeared instantly. She was just stepping through the outer security doors at the facility, one hand brushing her yellow clearance card across the scanner, while armed checkpoint lights blinked overhead in dull red pulses. Even through the lens compression, the place looked exhausting. Steel walls, white floodlights, corporate security pretending to be civilization. "You make it?" I asked while continuing down the trail. The desert crunched softly beneath my boots. Wren tapped the side of her screen, adjusting the feed angle while stepping through the checkpoint. "How is it out there?" she asked. "Better now that the tanks aren't choking to death." The facility doors sealed behind her with a heavy hydraulic hiss. I could hear distant announcements echoing somewhere deeper inside the building, while employees shuffled through security lanes carrying data pads and equipment crates. Then her eyes narrowed slightly. "You know that's a no-smoking zone, right?" I told her it was a no-smoking zone at the facility. I blinked once, realized the cigarette was still between my fingers. "Fuck off," I laughed. The sound startled a bird out of the dry brush nearby. Ahead of me, Gizmo was suddenly moving slower. No more proud little mechanical trot. His steps shortened while the servos in his back legs clicked softer than before. Tired, I stopped walking and looked down at him. "You done showing off?" I muttered. He gave me a slow blink that somehow felt dramatic. Then I scooped him up into my arms. Warm cat. Dusty fur. Metallic hind legs heavier than the rest of him, while his head pressed lazily against my chest, like he'd decided walking was no longer his responsibility. Back in the feed, Wren stepped into an elevator packed with dim fluorescent lighting and exhausted workers avoiding eye contact with one another. The elevator doors started closing. Then she smiled. Small, real. "My Gizmo," she said softly. I narrowed my eyes immediately. "You high?" She leaned against the elevator wall without shame. "I'm surviving." Which meant yes. I could practically smell the cannabis through the screen. Wren loved THC. Not in the reckless burnout way, more like armor. Something that slowed the world down enough for her to tolerate living inside it. And honestly, she probably needed it. The facility was a melting pot of bad tempers, outbreak paranoia, smugglers, overworked staff, corporate politics, and people one paycheck away from snapping completely. Yet somehow she stayed calm moving through all of it. Too calm sometimes. Like chaos bored her. The elevator descended deeper into the facility while the overhead lights painted soft gold across her brown and blonde hair. "You look tired," she said quietly, studying me through the relay. "So does Gizmo." "He worked hard today." Gizmo shifted slightly in my arms at the sound of his name, but didn't bother opening his eyes. The worm remained wrapped loosely across my shoulders, dim blue lights reflecting faintly off the echo lens while the desert wind moved around us. For a moment, neither of us said anything. Just shared the walk. Shared the silence between two different worlds. Her underground in fluorescent steel. Me out beneath open sky and cattle dust. Then the elevator chimed. The doors slid open behind her. Noise flooded the feed immediately. Voices. Machinery. Distant alarms. Work. Wren sighed once and adjusted the strap of her bag. "I'll call you after shift," she said. "If the facility doesn't explode first." She smirked. "You worry too much." "Somebody has to." The feed crackled softly. Then she disappeared into the crowd.